Hi y'all, today we're going to be talking about foot to height ratio for Bigfoot, and what I observed when I saw Bigfoot was the proportions were off. They weren't quite like ours. This fella, he had kind of a long body and shorter legs, longer arms, and those proportions are not like ours. Our legs are about half our height almost. This guy's maybe a third of his height was his legs. So when I extrapolate this and look at some of the archaic man, Neanderthal is a very good comparison. The proportions were very identical, I think. Of course, the height wasn't the same, but the proportions of the body, the length of the arms, the body, and the legs were very similar to Neanderthal. Neanderthal had rather large feet for his height. And so when we see some of these footprints, like here, let me show you this one. We see prints like this, we start to think, oh my goodness, he must be incredibly tall. I mean, look at, I'm a size 9 female foot. But when you use Neanderthal proportions to kind of extrapolate, what you come up with is that this fellow was probably about the range of 8 foot 6 inches. And that formula you can find on the left-hand side of my blog, the foot to height ratio. You can find it valid and utilize it, or you find the logic illogical. And that's fine too. However you want to come to a foot to height ratio, please do so. I've used what I consider to be a very good comparison as somebody who has been drawing the human body all of my life. The one that I saw kind of threw those proportions off. It was the first thing I noticed was he's not quite built like us. And when I look at Neanderthal, I go, ooh, very, very similar. So hopefully this helps. Just to know that maybe when we see really large footprint of them, it doesn't mean they're incredibly, 20 feet tall or so. It just means that their feet are rather large for their height. But their height is exceptional. That doesn't stop their height from being quite exceptional. So I hope this is helpful. I'm going to be covering a lot of things on here involving evidence, involving some strange X-file cases, some paranormal research that I'm doing that I would like to be able to share live or as it's happening in all kinds of subjects. There will be nothing really off limits here. I'm going to vlog about a lot of different things, and I'm hoping that perhaps video makes some people digest information better on video, and I hope that this is helpful. If you don't get the time to sit around and read, at least for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, you're going to learn something that you didn't know, and I hope that helps. And I also want your input very much. I consider y'all part of my research team. We're not going to always come to the same conclusions, and that's fantastic because we're coming from different bodies of experience, different knowledge, and different ways of using our minds. And I need all those different ways, joined with mine, to come to some amazing conclusions. So thank y'all for very, very much for being avid readers and mostly for being really curious about our world. There's much more out there we don't know than we do know. So let's start poking it with a stick. Thanks.